Hi and welcome to another gaming video, and in today's video I want to talk about capturing game footage from handheld consoles. I mean, if you've got a home console, it's quite easy to capture. If it can be hooked up to a TV, then it can be captured and recorded. You can take that footage and then use it in YouTube videos and have wow fancy footage. But portable consoles are a bit more difficult, some more than others. Well, let's take a look at the PSP. Now, the original PSP had no TV out, but the PSP 2000 and 3000 had you could hook up a cable and link it to your TV. If you could link it to your TV, you could then capture the footage. That's pretty decent. The Vita, out of the box, you can't do it. You can mod a Vita and capture it via the UDCD plugin, which I have done. Capturing the audio is a little bit awkward and it can be a bit fuzzy and noisy. Or maybe that's just my setup, but you can capture full screen, high quality footage from a Vita if it's been modded. The 3DS, out of the box, that can't be done, but you can have a capture card fitted. It's a very expensive way of doing it, but that's another way of capturing high quality footage from a 3DS. There's a mod for the DS Lite, which will allow you to connect to your TV via the headphone socket. And if it is expensive, but if that's the way you make your living, or if that's what you want to do, then it's a good way of doing it. The Switch, well, you've got two sort of variations of the Switch there, the full-size one and the Lite. The full-size one can be connected to a TV, therefore it can be routed through some kind of capture card. The Switch Lite cannot, so how do you capture from a Switch Lite? Well, they do have a capture button on the console itself. You can use this also for the original Switch, which will record 30 seconds of high quality gameplay. I've shot a video about this in the past, and it's good if that's all you need, is a little tiny clip. Maybe you want to drop it into a YouTube video like I do. Anything else, and the easiest way to capture game footage from your portable console, or even your home console, I suppose, if you don't have proper capture equipment, is to point the camera at your screen and do it that way. It's not the best. Cameras these days are pretty good quality, so it does pick up a decent screen, but it's not the best way to do it. If you're watching, or you're looking for maybe a walkthrough, or you want to see some game footage, what you don't want is to have someone pointing the camera down with their hands in the way, getting in the way, or you just want to see it on the screen. And that is what drives a lot of people to mod their consoles and get capture cards and all that. But there is one other way that you can capture footage, and you can capture footage pretty much from any portable console. Yeah, via this method. I can't think of a portable console that you can't use, and that is via emulation. If you've got a decent computer, you can emulate it, and then you can screen capture using something like OBS or Simple Screen to take that window and just capture that, nothing else. I've done it for things like the Game Boy Color, Nintendo DS. I even emulated Atari 2600 so I could capture the footage. Emulation is a little bit of a risky one, dodgy one, grey area, shall we say, because, well, first of all, it can be a little tricky to set up. Depending on what system you're using, the end results will vary. Lower end systems like the Game Boy, Neo Geo Pocket, Atari 2600, emulation is pretty much perfect for those, and because of the low system requirements, you never really run into any problems. If you're then trying to emulate something like the 3DS or the Vita or even the Switch, it's not quite fully there yet, and you need a very decent PC to do that and to get it running at 100%. So emulation is a little varied in that way. You've also got the legality of it. If you've got a game that you've bought for your DS and you think, well, I'd like to capture that, then go and downloading the ROM is, I think, legal, or at least about as legal as it's going to get. It's when you start downloading ROMs for games you don't own, that's where the piracy bit comes in. So emulation and screen capture is a great way of capturing handheld consoles, and You can do that for other consoles like PlayStation, PlayStation 2, Dreamcast. If you've got no way of intercepting the signal to your TV and you'd rather capture just the window, emulation with a screen capture like OBS or Simple Screen is a great way of doing it. So there are multiple ways of capturing handheld game footage, some built into the systems themselves, some with hardware mods that allow you to then connect it to a capture device, or you can do the simple way of just pointing your camera at the screen, and then you've got emulation. So lots of different ways, I've used all of these. Well, actually, apart from hardware mods, which I don't do, so for the 3DS and the DS Lite, I used emulation or just taken the camera onto the screen. I've done Vita using the UDCD plugin for a modded Vita. Haven't really touched Switch apart from with the Switch Lite using the 30-second capture button. In terms of home consoles, I've captured footage from PS2, PS1, with more modern consoles like the Xbox Series and the PS4. You can actually record footage onto your PlayStation, so that's quite good, or Xbox, and I've used that in previous videos. So game capture for home consoles is a little easier, especially with newer consoles where you can actually record directly onto the devices themselves. Portable or handheld game capture is a little more tricky, can be more expensive, but it can be done various different ways. So I hope you like that. Let me know how you capture your portable game footage. Like, subscribe, enjoy.